Welcome back to our second last session for today. And our final speaker for this segment works in relationship therapy, helping individuals feel seen, supported, and guided through their healing journey. Her work focuses on emotional clarity, connection, and compassion change. So please welcome Rukaya Abbas. And before we begin, this is going to be the flow of the session. I have one or two questions to begin with, and then you can start with your talk, followed by a little bit of explanation and discussion regarding what we have already done till now and how it connects with this topic, and then we will end it with the Q&A from the audience. So what are the most common emotional blocks that affect people's daily habits?
Usually stress and overthinking.
Okay.
Sometimes
And
people just overthink a lot of things, and that usually causes them blocks and affects their daily life as well.
yeah, and definitely all of this affects your nutrition, your sleep, your stress, and I think we have covered that throughout all the sessions that we have had till now. And this kind of boils down to what exactly do you need for your, mental health. So the session is specifically for the mental health. So how do relationships influence food choices and lifestyle patterns?
Uh, See, like for example, if there's something going on between you and your husband, for example, it's obviously going to affect. You won't have mood to have food. You won't be able to sleep. Your moods will change, and it will affect other people in your life as well because it's going to contradict. Your emotions are going to come out and affect other people in your life as well because of this one person or this one person in your life, and hence it will affect all your other aspects in your daily routine as well.
Yeah. And but even after that, having a supportive family, your friends, all those things is one thing. But there are some people who will come up with how to, start healing if they do not feel supported by the people around them. So
So
what do
that's
you have?
come. We'll talk with them. We sometimes call both the partners in, and when we finally sit down and talk with them, it's really like the issue is like so basic, and the fights are about. I mean, there is love. That's why there is fight. So when we narrow it down, and when a third person comes in and talks with them, so that's when they see that no, why are we fighting about this things? Let's just be together. I think that's where we come in as well.
Yes. I think with that, let's begin with your talk and over to you.
Okay, thank you so much for inviting me today. I'm really glad to be here. So today I will be talking about anxiety, chronic stress, and adrenaline fatigue. In my work as a therapist and mental wellness coach, I often meet people who aren't just mentally overwhelmed; they're physically exhausted from carrying stress for too long. Today, I want to give you a deeper understanding of what your mind, body go through, and how you can start melting that stress. When we talk about anxiety, people usually think of overthinking or constant worry, but anxiety is deeply physical as well. It's the tight chest, the racing heart, the sense of being on edge, the feeling of wanting to relax but not being able to. I always remind my clients that anxiety isn't a weakness, it's a message from your nervous system. It's knowing when to stop and take a pause in your life. Let's learn more about stress physiology and like what happens inside our body. Inside our body, when you are stressed, anxious, or overwhelmed, the body has its own self-built alarm system. It's called fight or flight response, mainly controlled by the amygdala in the brain. It's also known as the brain danger detector. The moment your brain senses stress, even if it's emotional stress or physical stress, it signals the hypothalamus, which activates the HPA axis, also known as the hypothalamus pituitary adrenaline axis. This sets off a chain of reaction. The hypothalamus sends the message to the pituitary gland, which amplifies it, and then the adrenaline glands release the adrenaline and cortisol. Adrenaline increases the heart rate, breathing, alertness, while cortisol keeps you awake and focused and ready to respond. This is normal, it happens with everyone, and it's healthy, but only if it's temporary. If it keeps on happening, like if you're stressed all the time, the problem begins when this alarm stays on for too long. Your body never returns to rest mode, the cortisol stays high, your brain becomes hypervigilant, your muscles stay tense, your digestion slows down, you become a light sleeper, and your emotions are overreactive. This is chronic activation, is what eventually leads to adrenaline fatigue. Let's look more about adrenaline fatigue. Adrenaline fatigue are tiny glands, but they are massive. They take on massive responsibility. They're the ones pumping out stress hormones to help us cope. When we experience stress for weeks, months, or years, the adrenaline struggles to keep up. That's when we start to feel morning exhaustion, even if we've had a whole night's sleep, or midday crashes, getting tired out of nowhere, mood swings, brain fog, or feeling just weird but not tired. Just feeling as if we're out of our body. It's like our body is pressing the gas and the brake at the same time. As a therapist, one important truth I preach about is you can't heal anxiety just by thinking your way out of it. You must also address the nervous system and physical stress response. The stress melting brew, what really happens is because healing is exactly a blend. A blend of nervous system regulations, emotional awareness, rest, nutrition boundaries, and self compassion. I would like to share some of the therapist backed tools that you can start using as soon as you'd like to, such as the nervous system reset tool. These help switch off flight mode and turn on rest and digest. It's known as 478 breathing. 4 seconds of inhale, 7 seconds of hold, and 8 seconds of exhale. This technique activates the vagus nerves and lowers the cortisol. Another method to use is sensory grounding. It's no Whenever you feel stress, you can identify 5 things that you see, 4 things that you feel, and 3 things that you hear. While diverting your mind, this signals your brain that you are safe. These tiny pauses that reset cortisol throughout the day, also known as the micro rest movements, 60 seconds of eye closed breathing, jaw and shoulder relaxation, stretching between tasks, and 2 minutes of deep belly breaths whenever you feel stressed or over exhausted or something like that. Another lifestyle anchors, such stress hormone regulators that I'd like to suggest is these habits directly affect cortisol, constant sleep schedule, protein rich. What you can use in your life is constant sleep schedule, protein rich breakfast, reducing caffeine during stress. A lot of us have a habit of having coffee first thing in the morning, myself included. Um, but obviously, caffeine shoots up your cortisol level, um, which obviously affects later on in the day when you feel sudden midday crashes. Then there is 5 to 10 minutes of sunlight in the morning, going out for walks, boundaries with draining people, setting up boundaries in your life around people who obviously drain you out, slowing down multitasking, focusing on one thing at a time can help you a lot. Finally, bringing it all together, healing isn't a dramatic overnight transformation. It's a small supportive ritual practice consistency. A calm nervous system is built sip by sip, breath by breath, and habit by habit. If you're feeling overwhelmed, anxious, or burnt out, you're not failing. Your body is simply asking for rest, safety, and support. When we understand our stress physiology, we stop judging ourselves and start healing ourselves. Thank you. Over to Khatija.
Yeah. So, sorry, I was on mute. So, it was a very insightful session, and we covered a lot of information since yesterday and today about nutrition and how we should eat right, we should drink right, all of those things. But it boils down to stress and how exactly can we manage stress, and that's what helps us age slower and all the other things. So when we are talking about stress, there's something called the hypothalamic pituitary adrenal system that controls how our body responds to stress. So if there is chronic stress, there is elevated cortisol, there is fatigue, there is cravings, there is weight gain, mood swings, and the cycle goes on. So this was a poster that I found online. So it talks about external stress factors as well as the internal stress factors, and then the impact of stress. So it's a very interesting poster with, it talks about not only workload, low support, deadlines, conflicts, all of those could be your external stress factors, and internal factors, whereas it comes to pressure, performing, insecurity in, your role, loneliness, disappointments, all of these things, and how they impact overall, your anger, your doubt, your inability to act, isolation, and a lot of those things. So you cannot remove, all of these stressing factors, but you can train your body to recover faster from it. So what is one thing you would tell everyone? Like, it's very easy to tell, okay, don't stress about it, but that's not the solution. So what would be that one solution that you would want to share?
To be honest, what works the most for me is taking deep breaths, the 4-8-7 breathing technique. That's what helps me the most. Obviously, you cannot just stop stressing. I know a lot of people just say, as you said before as well, just stop stressing. It doesn't work like that. So, trying on these techniques, or just going out for walks when you feel overwhelmed, especially at workplace or something like that, and even when you're at home, you get stressed. You can just take a break, just come in your room, relax, sit down, read a book, something like that could help you lower your stress down.
Yep, and I think the audience can put in the comments what do they do to reduce their stress. What are their mindful habits? Okay, now this is a brain power, like how, if you are maximum availability of your brain, if you are in a calm, composed state, that's when you collaborate, you construct, you do a good dialogue, you have a positive attitude, there's creativity, patience, and all of those things. But if you are in panic state, you are in a fight or flight state, you will crash. Your cortisol will go high, your hormones will be all haywire, and you will not be able to process things well. So just to boil it down to what exactly your body needs in a problematic situation is focusing on these things. Focusing on managing your mental strength at that point in time will automatically help you make better decisions. So, coming to a few adaptogens that help reduce stress, there is ashwagandha, which definitely reduces cortisol, enhances calm, focused, mindset. And then there are a lot of herbs you can check online and all. But at the end of the day, managing the stress without the use of adaptogens should be your priority. And then, okay, if you need a little bit of boost, adding these adaptogens is something interesting. And there is a scientific insight that says that recent meta analysis shows that daily adaptogen use for 6 to 8 weeks significantly lowers cortisol and improves mental clarity, sleep quality, and focus, especially when combined with balanced hydration and protein intake. So it's not like, you're just having a external source to help, reduce your cortisol. You have to, mental clarity should be there, sleep quality, focus, all the other things along with hydration, protein intake, your calorie intake, exercise, all of these other factors should be in place for anything to work. You can have this is kind of a recipe for you all, wherein you can have warm milk with some ashwagandha powder. Don't add a lot, it doesn't taste good. And then add a pinch of cardamom or cinnamon, and with any sweetener that you like. This is something you can have at night, and this helps you sleep better as well as prevent a lot of cortisol spikes. And beyond, this sleep and all of these factors, uh, 3 deep breaths and what Rukaya already mentioned, the technique. Along with that, 5 minutes of morning light, sunlight exposure will help, reset your clock. At the same time, tech detox. What do you say about tech, and how does tech influence, the uh, routine, and how does it influence our stress levels?
So the thing that we suggest all our clients who come to us for stress is not to use the phone at night, at least 2 hours before you go to sleep, because whatever you are watching on the phone obviously affects your sleep pattern and what you're going to be dreaming about as well. And sometimes, no matter what you see, like sometimes it affects your sleep and your dreams, and that can disrupt your sleep patterns. And obviously it makes your eyes, I don't know the correct term for it, but it affects your eyes. And there was a good word for it, I completely forgot.
Sunken eyes or something?
I think so. Yeah, and then it just when you wake up in the morning you feel so tired because your eyes have, like, like obviously you close your lights and then you're using the phone and it like drains out from you. So when you wake up in the morning you feel like, oh my god, have I slept at all?
Yeah,
And
true.
obviously
But
then
two
that can
hours before bed, switching off electronic devices is very difficult. I can say half an
I
hour is
sleep
okay.
in bed. But ideal
Yeah.
time is 2 hours because it then sets you in the mood for sleeping as well. So considering everything, 2 hours is ideal.
Yep. And along with that, pairing your adaptogen lattes or adaptogen drinks with grounding habits and not scrolling. So if you're having a drink, that doesn't mean, you're sitting and scrolling. Along with that, maybe, go for a walk, or maybe
Read a
some
book.
hobbies or anything. Yes, yes, exactly. And some ways to recover from stress: exercise, mindful breathing, a good cry also helps. Uh, expressive expression of your creativity, big hugs, enough sleep, laughter, be in nature, and connection as well. Anything you want to add?
Yeah, I was just gonna say we also suggest writing down journals, like how your
Okay.
day was, three good things about your day, three bad things, or and three things that you would like to improve the next day. Before going to bed, I mean, we can have this while sipping on the smoothie that you suggested. While we write this down and then
Okay.
go to bed.
Okay. Yeah, that's interesting. And why do these, drinks work? Because they regulate your cortisol naturally, improve focus and emotional balance. At the same time, it pairs beautifully with the journaling ritual that you just mentioned. And other alternatives is lemon tulsi water, or tulsi kara, which is basically tulsi with some more spices based on your taste. Just boil it and drink it with water. And ashwagandha milk, we already spoke about it, and lemon tulsi water, again, just adding a little bit of lemon with tulsi. And think of adaptogens as nature's emotional stabilizers. They don't numb you, but they balance you. With that, I think we are to the end of the session. If we have any questions, we'll take that now. Um, so we have a question: does stress and anxiety lead to depression and insomnia?
Um, I don't want to say completely yes, because I don't want to stress obviously a lot of audience as well. But if not treated correctly on time, it can lead to depression and sometimes insomnia. Insomnia is a whole different thing, but it can be like stress can be one of the factors, but depression surely, if not treated correctly and on time.
Okay, before we go to the audience question, I got a question. So, how do you identify if you have insomnia? Or, people who just, be like, oh, I am not able to sleep at night. Is it insomnia, or how do you, what would
Not
be
being
some
just
pointers
able
to know?
sorry, yeah, so not being just able to sleep at night is not insomnia. sometimes even we feel like, okay, today we can't sleep, but if this continues for over like a week or so, then you definitely need to reach out to some people to know what's happening, sometimes because of stress. But if stress not treated correctly can lead to depression, and then it can lead to insomnia. Depression is the
Okay.
main factor which leads to insomnia.
Next is, what's an easy stress reducing drink for rushed mornings? I think that was the whole session about, and we spoke about it. Do you have any drink ideas you want to share?
I think ashwagandha was the best one. And
Yeah,
green tea maybe at night. I don't know if it's good for your health or no.
no, I not at night, but maybe chamomile tea or something that can be consumed at night. But otherwise, I think stress reducing drinks don't exist, but it's more like cortisol reducing drinks, and stress has to be reduced through other techniques.
Yeah,
Okay, I think this is the last one. One has to reach a particular age to know that there is nothing more important than a good sleep.
fair
I think
enough.
that's just a comment. Yeah. So I think with that we've come to the end of the session. Thank you so much, Rukaya, for your time and effort in putting up this talk. And it was really helpful. I think we have covered a lot of questions that the even the normal general questions that people have, other than the ones who have joined. Thank you so much. And with that, we conclude session 9. And everyone stay back for the last and the final session of this workshop. And let's end this stream.
Thank you, bye.
Thank you.